Do you have a favorite wheat recipe, maybe even the one passed down to you in your family that you thought you could never enjoy again because of gluten and egg allergy? Well, today I am showing you some of the baking rules that will help you convert that recipe gluten-free. I am taking a simple, classic pancake recipe and converting it two ways. First, gluten-free, and then gluten-free and egg-free.
For those of you who just joined my channel, welcome. I am Masha and I'm so glad you're here. I picked this good old-fashioned pancakes recipe by Dakota Kelly because it's super simple and would be a great way to apply all those conversion rules I've learned from the elements of baking. Now let's begin by converting this regular recipe into a gluten-free one. The first rule of GF conversion is that wheat flour contains a higher percentage of protein and starch than most GF blends. And if we use one-to-one volume or weight replacement, the result is often gummy. So to prevent that, we need to reduce the total flour weight by 10%. Let's look at the original recipe here. So our original recipe calls for 1.5 cups or 300 grams of all-purpose flour. We then use the 10% rule, which means we will multiply 300 grams of flour by 0.9, giving us 270 grams. So we will use 270 grams of our gluten-free flour blend. Now for the binder, because I am using my own custom gluten-free blend that does not include xanthan gum, as most gluten-free blends do, we need to add binder for structure. And the rule of thumb here for quick breads like pancakes is to add half a teaspoon of xanthan gum for every cup of your gluten-free flour. A quick tip, if you are using a thicker liquid like buttermilk, you could reduce xanthan gum to 1/4 of a teaspoon. All other ingredients in the recipe will stay exactly the same.
Now, this one is a bit challenging, but nothing you can handle. We're going to be making these pancakes gluten and egg free. Now, before we begin, I do want to remind you that egg serves three main functions in baking, and one of them is to create structure for the bake. It also adds moisture and fat and acts as a leavener. So we need to make sure that we replace all three functions for this recipe to work.
We will continue with our 270 grams of GF flour, and here are our further adjustments. To replace the protein and fat of the egg yolk, I'm adding 30 grams of pumpkin seed flour. This adds necessary fat and binding without being overly starchy. I'm also adding an extra 10 grams of our GF flour to help boost the structure. Next, the egg white is mostly water, so we lose necessary liquid when we remove the egg. To replace this moisture, we're adding 30 grams more milk to keep the batter consistency the same. As you mix, add a bit more if the batter still seems too thick. Since the egg helps the pancakes rise, we need an extra boost. I'm adding an extra 1/4 of a teaspoon of baking powder and activating it with about 1/2 of a teaspoon of apple cider vinegar. The acid-base reaction will give us that missing lift. And there you have it, one batch of beautiful gluten-free pancakes and the second batch that is gluten-free and egg-free. Time to eat.
I hope that these baking rules that I've learned from the elements of baking will help you bring back those cherished recipes and alleviate some of the struggles in your gluten-free baking. Let me know in the comments if you want me to do more of these types of videos, converting recipes with different dietary restrictions, maybe like vegan or dairy-free. I'd love to hear from you. Thanks so much for watching. Happy baking, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.